Hi fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, Ascendant, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising, and those cross-watching. In today's reading, we'll take a look and see what the universe wants for you to know right now, and what what you need to focus on in your life, or where you need to focus your energy on. It is going to be a general reading, so if you're after a personal one, please feel free to reach out and inquire. My email address will be listed below the video. Okay, so for a lot of you, there's a lot of changes that are happening for you. Okay, there's a lot of changes that are coming into your life or are on their way to you. And change is exciting. It can be scary because it's new, it's not familiar, it's the unknown, but it feels exciting more than anything. Now, for some of you, you're creating these changes, okay? For others of you, you have to embrace those changes. Oftentimes, we can be resistant to change, which is what some of you are doing, okay? You're not realizing that the one thing that's a constant in this world is change, is impermanence, okay? And you're not realizing that there are certain things that need changing, certain things that need switching up, that need, changing, whether it's relationships that have gone stale, friendships that have gone stale, things that are running past their expiration dates. If you resist or if you avoid this change, it's going to enter your life just the same, okay? A new chapter, a new beginning, a new romantic energy, a new job, a new opportunity. Regardless of whether you're resistant or not, that change itself is going to be constant. And if you embrace it, or if you resist it, or if you avoid it, it's going to enter your life just the same. But when you initiate that change yourself, which is what some of you are doing here, and it's when you initiate the change, it's that energy of excitement. That's what feels exciting, and that's what feels thrilling. It makes it easy to really adapt to the change, and it makes it really easy to accept the change, since this is something that you've initiated, since this is something that's wanted, right? It's something that's anticipated. But some of these changes are unplanned. And look, some of these changes might even be unexpected or even unwanted. And look, not every change that happens is good by default. It isn't, okay? And that's just the truth. Not every change that occurs in your life, not every new relationship is going to be better than the next one. Not every new job is going to be, more opportunistic than the one you've had before. And that's just the reality of life. But the changes that are coming into your life, or the changes that you're embracing now, are shifting you in a new direction, and they're shifting you towards new knowledge, new people, new information, like new experiences as well. For those of you that are going through career-related changes, it is going to boost your self-confidence, and it is going to bring, better financial results and better financial improvements. So do not resist it. For others of you, if some of these changes could be connected to you moving into a new home, like a new country, even a new place of residence, that's going to impact your personality and your growth and your character, okay? You're going to become more open-minded, more flexible, more open as well. You might even become like more culturally diverse, and more appreciative, right? For some of you, one of the biggest changes that you're going to get is in terms of a romantic relationship, of a romantic connection, okay? And this could be a marriage or a relationship of some sort, and this could be like a new you, okay? So you might be a new person, as in you might end up being a really happy woman or a happy man, or you might end up being a wife or a husband, a mother or a father. So it's some really big changes that are coming into your life. For those of you that are initiating those changes, I think you're on a really good path, okay? And I think that's, how will you know? Because that's when it's something that you look forward to. It's something that feels exciting, and even though it's unknown, and there are no guarantees, and you just don't know if it's going to work out or not, but it's change, and that is more than enough for you to get excited over. But for those of you that are resisting, a lot of people just prefer to avoid change and just stay in their comfort zone. But I'm a true believer in, you know, growth happening outside of your comfort zone. I'm sure, you know, you've all heard the saying, no growth happens in a comfort zone. And look, you can stay in your comfort zone, but once you get that, once you build up that courage to take that first step to change, your life is going to become better, okay? Once you get, you know, take that first step to change. So whether it's change jobs, change your relationship, change the person that you are into the person that you want to become, there's just going to be so much goodness that comes out of it. You're going to grow and you're going to learn new things about yourself and about the world around you. You're going to discover like different aspects of your life. You're going to learn lessons from these changes that you perhaps wouldn't have learned otherwise, okay? So, I mean, bottom row, it's all about this fear. It's all about this energy of resistance, but what's on the other side of change is positive. It's exciting. And I know, you know, we spoke about not all change being good by default, but there is a lesson behind everything, and it's up to you to find out what those lessons are, right? It's also going to make sure that, you know, like stepping outside of your comfort zone is going to put you in this energy where you're going to be adapting to new situations and new environments and new circumstances, new people, right? New romantic energies, new networking, business connections. Don't freak out, because there's a lot of that coming in, especially for those of you that are pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, okay? It's gonna get uncomfortable beyond this comfort zone, but this is where all the growth is happening. This is where all the new people and just, you know, all that newness is coming into play. And this is where you need to improve yourself. Sometimes, you know, change just happens and you don't necessarily need to do anything different, and change just, you know, rolls on up on your doorstep. But without change, there would be no flow. There would be no improvement. So embrace it, don't resist it. And if you're still finding yourself resisting change, then, you know, so be it. Change is gonna, you know, happen regardless, is what I'm saying. Sometimes even small changes can be really valuable. So if you're just making like small changes, like, you know, eating healthier, right? Even just like applying small changes, like an apple a day, it's going to have a snowball effect over time. So sometimes like small changes can lead to a massive shift in a desired big change, if that makes sense. I also feel like, you know, these changes, they're such a big part of what's in store for your fate and destiny, and it's going to trigger progress. It's going to trigger, you know, new chapters, new events, new situations. Things are going to move forward and things are going to start developing. You're going to pick up momentum because of this change, because you've embraced or initiated change, right? In these changes, you've got the Ace of Wands, so they're all about beginnings, okay? New beginnings. It's about a turning page. It's about turning a new page, closing one chapter so that you can open another. And what change does is it brings in new beginnings and it brings excitement to life. And this is why it feels like, you know, you're at a point where there's so much change that it should feel exciting. Even if it feels a little scary, it's fine, okay? It's fine, don't stress. And for some of you, you're probably thinking, you know, you don't like change too much. Some of you just like, you know, something that's very mundane and predictable. But try, see if you can challenge yourself, test yourself to sort of, you know, initiate change, even if it's little, and just see where it gets you, see where it takes you, see where it leads you. What's happening, like these changes, these new beginnings that are coming in for you and new connections, change itself is not, I don't think change is difficult. I think resistance makes it difficult. You know, when you resist, like if you've been laid off, or if you're in a bad relationship, and you know, if you resist the change there, I think this is what makes it difficult. For some of you, there is a very strong energy of fear, okay? You're being called to start something new, okay? A new chapter, a new beginning, a new relationship, you know, a new connection, a new opportunity. And the fear of unknown is scary, okay? And the reason why it's scary is because there are things that you can't predict. There are things that you just don't know, right? And that can be scary, and I get it, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I did say that the most exciting changes will be the ones that you're gonna face, and also the ones that you're gonna seek out and initiate yourself, because those are going to be a lot easier for you to lean into, because they're what's wanted, they're what's been initiated by yourself. But for some of you, I can see there's a bit of an emotion, like a roller coaster of emotion, and some of these emotions are taking you on a high, and they can be fear and they can be anxiety. Interestingly enough, there's something here that some of you are doing where, and this, I find this very interesting, and I find this quite, not clever, but I find this, yeah, interesting. Some of you are accepting change, but, so for example, you might have accepted a new job, or you might have entered a new relationship, but you're still resisting change in other ways. So you might have entered a new relationship, but it's kind of with the same old person, like with the same type of person that you would date in the past, or you've accepted a new job opportunity, but you're kind of doing the same things. You're still doing the same old things that seemingly making your life or your situation difficult. So even though you're starting something new, you're still doing it in an old way, if that makes sense, okay? And that's what some of you are doing. And if you're, sitting there and you're thinking, okay, you're embracing all this change, but nothing is really improving for you, or, things just haven't been looking up, that's because, yes, on a physical level, you are accepting change, but I think you're sort of resisting it. The King of Swords, the Five of Wands, I think you're kind of, the King of Swords is telling you that you need to take a closer look at what you're doing. You need to be honest with yourself, because you're kind of applying the old ways, and that's what's keeping you stuck. It's what's keeping you there. The other thing, there's so much that's happening for you right now, and it might not feel like it's in your control. And a lot of people fear that, because they don't feel like it's in control, and they feel like it's frustrating to have certain situations change in your life that are beyond your control. But you can still, when I look at the Wheel of Fortune, it's sort of, to me, it looks like a complex web. I don't know about you guys, but to me, it sort of looks like a complex web. Change never happens in isolation, okay? Change never happens in isolation. Typically, there's this complex web of reasons behind why it happens. Okay, so your relationship changes because your partner changes, your feelings change, their feelings change, something in you changes, your situation changes. Okay, it's often instigated by some other big change, if that makes sense. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. So it's all about embracing the change rather than resisting the change or avoiding it. If you are someone who's avoiding the change, just remember change is going to happen, whether you avoid it or embrace it. And if change doesn't happen, if nothing doesn't happen, your life stays predictable. Okay, try and challenge yourself where you initiate change, no matter how big or no matter how small. Initiate change and see how life might work out differently for you. Okay. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your attention. Please show your support to this channel if you haven't already by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Do hit that subscribe button. It does help the channel to grow. Thank you.